Some lights guide us home, others simply watch. Elowen learned the difference the night the forest had opened its eyes. Today, we're making a lantern inspired spread, a page, a page that glows the way hers once did. Elowen had said the forest sees differently than we do, not with eyes, but with attention. Elowen always said the forest felt different at night, not dangerous, just aware. On this particular evening, the trees seemed to lean in a little closer, their branches forming a kind of quiet canopy above her. She wasn't afraid. She'd walked this path before, but the air felt heavier, like the forest was holding its breath. She kept going anyways, brushing past the trunks, listening to the soft crunch of the leaves under her boots. The deeper she walked, the deeper it became, until the path behind her was nothing but a memory of light. Elowen had told me that the forest responded to this glow. Branches would shift, paths had widened, almost like the woods, well, they were making room for her. Later, she would write about this very moment in her journal. She would describe it. She would describe the glow, the stillness, the way the forest seemed to pause around her. But she never wrote the part she realized afterwards. Yeah, the part she kept tucked away like a secret, not meant for the world. Well, the glow was not a lantern. No, it wasn't anything really. She couldn't explain it. It was something the forest showed her once, and it never cared to show her again. Elowen, she had made a lantern once. Do you remember? But her lantern, it was not to light her way. No, more like to tell the forest where she was. And that's when she saw it. A glow, faint, warm, and impossibly steady, off in the distance, just hovering between the trees. At first, she thought it was a lantern. Maybe, just maybe, someone else was out here. Or perhaps a traveler just passing on through. Or could it have been a friend? But the glow didn't sway the way lanterns do. It didn't flicker. It didn't dim. It just existed. A small circle of warmth in a forest that had suddenly forgotten how to breathe. You know, she had said that the forest watched her, but it watched her through that light, that faint, unflickering light. She wasn't scared. She wasn't concerned. She knew it was watching her, but not in an unkindly manner. No, it just watched her out of curiosity. So, seeing that light and not feeling any fear, Elowen decided to step closer, but careful not to disturb whatever it was. The glow, it had pooled around her feet, softening the harsh shadows, warming her hands. She reached out, yeah, she reached out to touch it, but she was expecting to feel heat, some kind of warmth, the kind that comes from flame or embers. But there was nothing, No heat, no burn. There was nothing at all. Not even warmth. No fire, no source. Just light. And for a moment, a brief moment, she wondered if the forest had given her this, a small kindness, a guide, a sign. But the forest didn't answer her. The forest never answers her. When Elowen had made her lantern all those years ago, she also wrapped hers in twine too. She said it made the light feel more contained. Contained? Well, she never told me why she wanted to contain the light, but knowing her, she must have had a good reason. Now, well, seeing it for myself, I know why she wanted to contain the light. The glow had stretched out in lines like glowing arms, reaching up towards the branches above, as if trying to grab these trees, or maybe, just maybe, get its attention. Elowen, stunned, watched each glowing arm flicker and dance, just like an out of control fire does. But this sight, these flickering arms, streaks didn't flicker like fire. No, more like something trying to imitate it. But the rays, they didn't reach far. It looked as if they couldn't. They just broke apart before touching the trees, dissolving into the darkness. It was as if the forest refused to let the light spread. I could have sworn that the trees the glow tried touching moved away slightly. It could have been the breeze. Yeah, it could have been. If only there was ever a breeze to begin with. Yes, the forest, the forest refused the light, almost as if the glow belonged only to her and no one else. Elowen had taken her eyes off the glow just for a moment so she could write something that night, just a few words, but she never said what they were. But when she looked back at the glow, it was gone. No footprints, no smoke, no ember, just darkness. And Elowen standing alone in the quiet, wondering why the forest had let her see something so small. And yet, so strange. She never found it again, but she carried the memory with her, a soft circle of light in a place that rarely offered warmth. She had carried her lantern into a part of the forest she'd never seen before, and the trees? Well, the trees shifted, just slightly though, barely noticeable, but just enough to let her pass on by. Some lights guide us, some lights protect us, and some simply let the forest know we're still here. This was hers, and now it's the second page where her story begins. Again. So, if you've liked this Craft Plus lore, let me know, and we'll explore another secret the forest has.